Assalamualaikum. Good day, everyone. We are in English Unit 6. Food, please, by Teacher Umu. Welcome, pupils. Are you ready for a fun learning session? Our objectives for today's lesson are: number 1, listen and answer at least 2 answers correctly, and number 2, find out about someone's basic everyday routine by asking at least 3 questions using the correct target phrase. The reference for today's lesson will be your Get Smart Plus 3 textbook. Now, on to the first activity. Come and comes. Do you know the difference between come and comes? Let's take a look. Comes. C-O-M-E-S. Comes. We use comes for singular nouns. Singular meaning only one. For example, souvlaki comes from Greece. Meanwhile, come we use for plural nouns. Plural means more than one. For example, crepes come from France. Let's look at examples with pictures. Comes for singular nouns. There is only one souvlaki, so we use comes. Souvlaki comes from Greece. Meanwhile, at the right, there are 2 crepes, plural, so we use come. Crepes come from France. Now let's try to answer some questions. Number 1. Can you pick the correct answer? Kebabs come or comes from Turkey. Which one is the correct answer? Come or comes? Yes, you are right. Count the kebabs. There are 1, 2. 2 kebabs. And in the noun, you can notice there is an S, which means it is in plural form. Look at the blue letter. So our answer must be come. Next, nasi lemak. Can you count how many nasi lemak there is? Try to count how many, and then choose whether to use come or comes. The answer is comes. There's only one nasi lemak, so for singular nouns we use comes. Lastly, pizzas come or comes from Italy. Count how many pizzas. Then choose come or comes. The answer is come. Look at the pizzas. There are 2 pizzas. And the word for pizza is in its plural form. So we need to use come. Pizzas come from Italy. Activity 2. Let's recap. Listen and say the answer. Do you still remember our previous topic on street food? Let's try to remember which country does the food comes from. For example, number 1 is a picture of a souvlaki. Souvlaki comes from Greece. Now, can you tell me where does the food in picture number 2 comes from? Look at the food in picture number 2. What is it? It's a crab. Where does crab comes from? The answer is France. Crabs come from France. Now, how about the third picture? Picture number 3. Where does the food comes from? It comes from the US. Lastly, picture number 4. Number 4 is a picture of noodles. Do you know where noodles comes from? Noodles come from China. You are right. Activity 3. Listen and answer. If you have your textbook, you may open page 59. Question number 1. Listen and try to guess the answer. What's in your souvlaki, Peter? There's meat, yogurt, and tomatoes too. Are there any onions? No, there aren't. I don't like onions. Do you know the answer? Now let's look at question number 2. Mary, do you want noodle soup for dinner? No, Mom. Can I have noodles with vegetables, please? Noodles with vegetables? Yes, please. Now, question number 3. Listen and try to find the answer. What are you eating, Pierre? I'm eating a crab. What is in it? Chocolate. It's a chocolate crab. My favorite. Now let's look at number 1. For number 1, the answer is A. In picture A, there's meat, yogurt, and tomatoes too. And there aren't any onions. So the answer is picture A. Do you know the answer for question number 2? Answer is B. Mary wants noodles with vegetables. So the answer is picture number 2. And the last question, what is Pierre eating? Pierre is eating chocolate crab. Picture A is a chocolate, it's not a crab. Meanwhile, picture C is crab with strawberry jam, not chocolate. So the answer is picture B, chocolate crab. Well done! Now let's look at our last activity. Activity 4. Ask and answer. We are still in page 59. To ask, you need to use the target phrase do you, and to answer the question, you may use either yes, I do, or no, I don't. For example, do you have pancakes for breakfast? And the answer, yes, I do. Now, let's look at activity 4. Look at the table and let's try to practice using the phrase. Number 1. Do you have pancakes for breakfast? Yes, I do. Number 2. Do you like cheeseburgers? Yes, I do. Number 3. Do you like yogurt? No, I don't. Number 4. Do you have soup for dinner? No, I don't. And the last question. Do you want a crepe for lunch? Yes, I do. You may try to use the phrases and practice with your friends or family members. Now that is all for today's lesson. You may also do some exercises by clicking on the Google form shared below. That is all. Thank you. Goodbye. Assalamualaikum.
Terima kasih kerana anda telah like, share dan subscribe serta tekan tombol loceng. Bye, jumpa lagi di video akan datang.